We were talking about asexual mode of reproduction. The first is binary fission. Then we told you about one more mode of reproduction, beta, which is not actually the mode of reproduction, but indirectly we can count it. What is that? What was the name? What was the heading?
Endospore formation.
Yes, beta, it is endospore formation. Okay, let me move on to the third one. Sexual reproduction. Okay. Uh, beta, is my voice echoing?
No, ma'am.
Then it's okay. Let me explain it to you. This is the last part left. We are doing sexual reproduction. Very quickly, let's do this. See, beta, sexual reproduction is very, very big.
Now it's echoing.
No, I felt some. I'll even join again. Just give me
Ma'am,
one
your
second.
mic is unmuted.
Okay, let me do it. Uh, See, we're going to study about. Still, it is there now.
Ma'am, it's fine now.
Okay. We were doing about the sexual mode of reproduction, very, very basic sexual reproduction we have in bacteria, very basic. But why do we call it as sexual reproduction? Because exchange of genetic material takes place. That is why we give this term as sexual reproduction. Otherwise, as such, no proper gametes are formed, nothing like this. But exchange of genetic material is taking place. That is why we generally use the word sexual reproduction. The first is transformation. Element is there. Okay. What happens in this is genetic material of one is transferred from one bacteria to the other. The first is transformation, in which what happens is, see, genetic material of one bacteria is transferred into the other bacteria. Second is one bacteria genetic material is transferred to the another, but through a bacteriophage. What is a bacteriophage? What is the bacteriophage?
It eats the foreign particles.
Bit of viruses. Okay? Viruses that attack bacteria. What are they known as? Bacteriophages. So who is going to carry that genetic material from one bacteria to the other? Carry the genetic material of one bacteria to the other bacteria. Such kind of exchange of genetic material is known as transduction, and it was observed by Zinner, the person who observed this and he proved it. He showed us कि ऐसा होता है. It was Zinner, Zinner. So पहला is transformation. Griffith told us genetic material, one bacteria transformed. See transduction, one bacteria genetic material transferred through bacteriophage. Directly नहीं transfer bacteria to the other. This is called as transduction, children. And the third and the last and the most important interesting one is conjugation. Exchange of genetic material between two bacteria takes place. See, these are two bacteria. This is the positive strain bacteria. This is a negative strain bacteria. Positive strain bacteria मतलब जिसके अंदर F gene है. F gene means fertility gene. Okay? Fertility gene. This is the first one. So it has a fertility gene. So we call it one. They'll come closer. See this? This process is called conjugation. They attach over here. ये पॉजिटिव वाला था बेटा, इसके पास F1 जीन, F जीन थी, fertility gene. So it will make a copy of the F gene. This one, there will be a copy of the F gene, and that copy will be given here. After separation, the negative will have its own genetic material. तो अब ये negative वाला भी क्या बन गया? Positive बन गया. Here we did not, here we had a genetic material, here we did not have. So इसका replication हो गया. इस जीन का। आफ्टर रेप्लिकेशन ऑफ दिस जीन उसका दूसरा कॉपी इधर चला गया. नाउ बोथ ऑफ देम आर पॉजिटिव. When we started, this was positive. This had its genetic material. This did not have. So जिसके पास जीन था उसमें एक copying हो गया. So we got a copy of this gene. The copy went to the other bacteria, and after separation हमें ये वाले bacteria मिले बेटा. Both of them have their own genetic material. So this one has also become positive now. This is conjugation. Conjugation number 1. This is first type of conjugation. Did you understand this conjugation?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
These are the subheadings under sexual reproduction.
Yes, beta. These are sexual reproductions only. These 3 headings you should put under sexual reproduction. Actually, as I told you, sexual reproduction is very basic, but हम sexual reproduction इसलिए बोल देते हैं because genetic material is being exchanged. So we use the word sexual reproduction. Normally gamete formation वो सब नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे. But because genetic material exchange हो रहा है, so we use the word sexual reproduction. But you can see बच्चे very clearly I have written very basic sexual reproduction. Exchange of genetic material takes place, so we call it as sexual reproduction. First वाला तो transformation था, directly exchange मतलब mixing हो रहा है from one to the other. Second was transduction. Who was taking the genetic material of one to the other? What was the word I gave you?
Bacteriophage. Bacteriophage.
Bacteriophages, they are viruses. Now third वाला conjugation है. Conjugation दो तरह का है. First वाले में बस इतना याद रखिए बेटा, when we started one was positive, the other was negative. एंड प्रोसेस कंप्लीट होने के बाद दोनों कैसे हो गए थे?
Positive.
वो था पॉजिटिव. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस, तभी सेकंड समझ में आएगा. व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड इसके पास जेनेटिक मटेरियल था, इसके पास नहीं था. दिस हैड इट्स ओन जीन. जीन रेप्लिकेशन कॉपी बन गया एंड देन कॉपी इधर आ गया. आफ्टर सेपरेशन बोथ ऑफ देम आर पॉजिटिव. बोथ ऑफ देम हैव देयर ओन जेनेटिक मटेरियल. So this is the second kind of conjugation. This was positive, this was negative. Clear? Two bacteria is attaching, transfer हो रहा है. This arrow shows what? Transfer. This is your gene. Gene is being transferred from here to here. After they come closer. जो gene positive इस वाले में थी बेटा, अब आप देखो वो इस वाले में आ गई. So ये पहले positive था, ये negative था. अब ये negative हो गया और ये क्या हो गया? Positive हो गया. The number still remains the same. ठीक है? But what happens is by each division, later by binary fission, देखो ये पहले binary fission से divide कर सकता है. अब ये वाला positive हो गया, ये भी binary fission से divide कर सकता है. This process is called as, this was first shown and proved by Lederberg. Lederberg, Lederberg. So main difference between these two conjugations is यहाँ पे जब हमने start किया था, one was positive, the other was negative, and last में both of them were positive. Here when we start, this was positive, this was negative. But जब हमने खत्म किया, this became negative and this became positive. So पहले binary fission से ये भी reproduce कर गया, and then अगर इसने इसको transfer कर दिया तो ये भी कर सकता है. The one which did not have the fertility gene. This process is what we call as conjugation. What is it called? Tell me the name of this process.
Conjugation. Conjugation.
So when we talk about sexual reproduction, just remember 2-3 things. It's a very basic mode in bacteria. Why we call it sexual reproduction? Normally हम लोग कहते हैं gamete formation होगा, only then it is sexual reproduction. Here nothing is happening, but because genetic material is being transferred from one to the other, we categorize it, we give the heading as sexual. First is transformation. Very simple. Genetic material directly is going from one to the other, mixing हो रहा है, which was given by Griffith. Second is genus transduction. Who is going to carry the genetic material from one bacteria to the other?
Virus.
Yes, bacteriophages. Viruses, those which attack bacteria, they are known as bacteriophages. So there is a virus. Yes, beta.
Ma'am, what happens in transformation?
Beta transformation, both of them come closer and the genetic material mixes up. Okay. There it is very simple. Normal. Griffith's genetic transformation, दोनों mix हो गए, transform हो गया. Genetic material एक नई तरह का बन गया. Transform हो गया.
Okay,
Transduction में
ma'am.
one genetic material is shifted to the other with the help of bacteriophages. And conjugation, who gave this process? नाम भी एक बार जल्दी से करिए. Transformation by Griffith. Transduction by, yes.
Zinner.
Dinner.
Jenner.
And conjugation is by Liderberg. Conjugation is by Liderberg.
Lederberg.
In conjugation, one was this, one had genetic material, other did not have. तो इसने अपना F gene जो gene है इसका copy बना लिया. This also got, this also got. After separation, both of them have their own genetic material. Both of them are positive. But एक ये दूसरा वाला होता है, इसमें यहाँ से यहाँ चला गया. If you see, the number still remains the same, but each one divides later by binary fission. Okay, this will also divide by binary fission. अब ये positive हो गया, ये भी binary fission से divide कर लेगा. So we also put it in the category of reproduction. So very quickly, what are the three modes of sexual reproduction we just discussed?
Transformation,
Transduction
transduction.
and
By,
conjunction.
I want the names also by
Transformation by Griffiths, transduction by Jenner, and
And conjugation by
conjugation by Lederberg.
good. Asexual one, it's already clear to you. Sexual also we have done. We'll take up the next kingdom.